A road rage brawl in the middle of a busy South Bay street. What we know about the man who did a U-turn to break up the fight.
An Uber customer gets a pricey bill for a ride she never took. The one thing she wants Uber to change so this doesn't happen to someone else.
Making college affordable, the new plan some Californians can cash in on just for being born.
10 News begins with breaking news.
But we begin with breaking news in National City.
Brian Schlonsky is in the 10 News Live Center monitoring the situation. Brian?
Yeah, Kim and Ariel, here's what we got going on right now. Chula Vista Police and National City Police right now have a building surrounded. Take a look. This is a live picture from our 10 News breaking news tracker. That is the building right there, West 35th Street. This is in National City. Chula Vista Police at one point were trying to serve a warrant on somebody. He took off running, and police say he was last seen going right there inside that building. This building is full of different offices. So they've surrounded the building. They have police now inside as well, going office by office, checking, trying to find this person. You can see at one point we saw officers standing in the doorway with their guns drawn. A lot of the people who work here have already come outside. That's the good news. Not sure if anybody is still stuck there inside or not, and we don't know yet what the warrant was for on this suspect, but you can see how many officers there are outside of this building surrounding it and now going inside looking for this suspect. We'll check on this here in about 10 minutes and see if this person comes out. Back to you.
We'll check back. Thanks, Brian. New at 6 o'clock, road rage caught on camera. This melee happened less than 24 hours ago in a busy South Bay street.
10 News reporter Joe Little has the ending and what you can do to avoid a similar encounter.
It's a busy Chula Vista street, and late Monday afternoon, it wasn't big enough for these two cars. Road rage led to this moment where two couples started brawling and ended with one woman bloodied and in tears. The woman who shot that video says she saw both those drivers chirping at each other as they drove down this road, and it all boiled over right here when one of the cars cut the other one off. We don't know who got out of their car first, but we know the two women slap at each other, and then it quickly escalates from there as the couples wrestle each other to the ground.
It's getting worse.
Chula Vista Police Sergeant David Hoyos was a bit disappointed when he saw the video.
Everyone took the time to film the video and no one took the time to call 911.
Thankfully, in this case, an off-duty police officer just happened to drive by.
Kind of the world we live in right now is we're thankful that people do capture things on video, but we'd be even more thankful if people would call the police.
Sergeant Hoyos says they are seeing more and more incidents like this one in 2013. This is when a U.S. Marine lost it when his car was rear-ended. Hoyos' biggest advice, get out of the way. If that doesn't work, call police.
There's no need to try to take matters into your own hands because things always turn out bad when that happens.
That's what happened to this woman. And Sergeant Hoyos says she's the one who threw the first punch. In Chula Vista, Joe Little, 10 News.
Chula Vista police say no one involved in that melee wanted to press any charges. They also do not know that off-duty police officer. He wasn't one of theirs.
Well, road rage is a problem most drivers worry about. Let's put this in perspective for you. A 2015 AAA study found that 9 out of 10 people believe aggressive drivers are a serious threat to their safety. Nearly 2/3 of drivers say it's a bigger problem now than 3 years ago. And more than 3/4 of drivers say they've engaged in aggressive driving.
New details of the TSA pat-down that's gone viral from the mother who lived it. And speaking of San Diego tonight, Jennifer Williamson says the lengthy pat-down a TSA agent gave her teenage son scared him. She says they didn't set off any alarms and was ignored when she asked agents in Dallas to not pat down her son who has a sensory disorder.
I think any mother seeing that happen to their child would feel uncomfortable, and that's my job as his mother, to protect him. He hadn't done anything wrong. He had done everything that they had told him to do. He went through the scanner, and he was visibly concerned and scared when they approached us.
The TSA says Williamson and her son were at the checkpoint for 45 minutes, including the time it took to discuss the screening procedures.
New developments. A busted sidewalk will cost San Diegans nearly $5 million. The city of San Diego will pay the money to a cyclist who was badly injured when a tree-damaged sidewalk launched him into the air. Clifford Brown crashed in Del Cerro in 2014. Well, tonight for the first time, Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin is hearing from Brown's lawyer about the case And you're getting an update on how he's doing, Adam.
Yeah, Ariel, Brown's lawyer says that he will never be the same. He's had to relearn things like how to walk and different tasks to get through the day, things that you and I might actually take for granted. He's hoping that this settlement will send a message that the city of San Diego's sidewalks are in disrepair. They need to be repaired. Something needs to be done about it. Laying in a hospital bed hooked up to machines. This is the first picture we've seen of Clifford Brown since the 2014 bicycle crash that changed his life.
He's in constant daily pain. He needs the assistance of daily caregivers. He's lost his independence. He's lost his ability to be a normal person.
William Berman is Brown's lawyer. He says Brown was riding to his girlfriend's house when he hit this crack in a sidewalk, launching him into the air.
He suffered neurologic injuries and spinal cord injuries. Ultimately suffered a post-incident stroke as a result of the severity of the injuries.
3 years after the crash, Brown agreed to what's believed to be the largest settlement ever with the city of San Diego in regards to sidewalk issues.
We have a systemic problem with regards to our sidewalk maintenance. We have a breakdown. This particular sidewalk was known to be in its condition 4 months prior to the date of the incident.
Last year, 10 News uncovered sidewalks in San Diego are falling apart, and the city is paying big bucks to settle. A Team 10 investigation discovered in the past 5 years, San Diego paid more than $1.7 million to people who were injured by sidewalks that jumped out of the ground or are crumbling into hazards. The average sidewalk repair costs about $3,100, but the average payout after someone falls is more than $13,000. Berman says something needs to change.
We have a lot of sidewalks that are in disrepair, and many of those sidewalks are known by the city to exist.
And when the city council first approved the settlement, a representative from the city attorney's office told me that they believe the settlement was reasonable because of the damage that Mr. Brown suffered and the care that he is going to need. I reached out to the city late this afternoon to see if any changes are going to come to the sidewalk repair program. I haven't heard back yet. It was late this afternoon. If we do hear back, we'll let you know what they say. I can tell you that the city is on pace to replace and repair about 175,000 square feet of sidewalk this year. Reporting live, Adam Rakusin, Team 10.
Thanks, Adam. New at 6 o'clock, we're working to find out what's next for the 3 city managers who broke the rules when using city-issued credit cards. Somebody left an anonymous tip with the fraud hotline revealing the Department of Information Technology managers abused their cards. One of them split up a big money purchase into smaller purchases to avoid hitting the maximum dollar limit. Then a second manager was found to have a different worker's card, even though they're supposed to be secured at all times. And a third manager failed to report those violations, including an $8,000 purchase that was made without authorization. There are more details about the violations in the full audit. We have posted it on our website, 10news.com.
New developments. The man who broke into a North County home, tied up 2 roommates, and killed the third one will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. Elliot Grizzle was convicted of first-degree murder today. Grizzle and several other armed men broke into the San Carlos home last May. They demanded money and drugs, tied up the people inside, and killed Brent Adler when he came home. Grizzle faces 198 years to life in prison. 2 other men facing charges will be tried later.
Well, you are taking a live look at the Jolla Shores. It's one of San Diego's best views, but scientists are worried what will happen to it now that President Trump has rolled back environmental regulations. So check out this projection. A team of scientists just released this, and the light green line that you see on the outer edge is where the shoreline started 20 years ago. But the red line, this dark red line right in the middle right here, is where the shoreline will be about 80 years from now because of rising sea levels. So if you look at the top of the map here where the 2 collide, and then down at the bottom where they touch again, that's the city's infrastructure. It starts right where the shoreline will also be in that time. Scientists say it is up to us to slow down the erosion.
Wow, stark reality. Well, new tonight, more than 30 pounds of meth and heroin are off the streets in the North County. Border agents found these bags in the back of the Nissan Altima near the 15 and 76 Monday afternoon. There were 7 pounds of heroin and 27 pounds of meth. The street value is about $170,000.
New developments: the local lawmakers' plan to protect sexual assault victims is moving forward in Sacramento. The Sexual Assault Survivors Bill of Rights won unanimous support in a state committee vote today. Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez-Fletcher wrote the bill, which would require hospitals and police to give victims a card spelling out their rights. It would also require police departments to hold on to rape test kits for 20 years.
New at 6 o'clock, 2 sisters now living in California claim a border agent sexually assaulted them when they entered the U.S. as teenagers. The ACLU office in Fresno has filed a $1.5 million lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security. The women say they were 17 and 19 years old when an agent stopped them at the Mexico-Texas border. The agent then allegedly told them to take off their clothes and touch the girls inappropriately. Fresno's former Immigrations and Customs Director says situations like this are impossible to avoid.
Anytime you've got 15 or 20,000 people working for you, you're going to have a few bad apples.
The Department of Homeland Security has not commented on the case.
All right, Ariel, we are back here in the 10 News Live Center now, and this is just in. It's regarding the sale of nitrous oxide. We just got this into the 10 News Live Center. Right now, California lawmakers working to ban the sale of nitrous, also known as laughing gas, from head shops and smoke shops. This so far has unanimously passed the first committee. Now, you know, young people sometimes use this to get high. In fact, a mother of a young woman killed in a crash involving nitrous is now expressing her support of this bill. Here's why it's so dangerous. The body processes this really fast, so it's tough to prove if it was actually used during a crime. Nitrous is commonly used for different procedures at dentist offices, but this law would not affect that. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Brian. New details on the rising cost of buying a home in San Diego. Home values went up nearly 1% between December of 16 and January of 17. And they went up nearly 6% of January of 16 to January of 17. Home values in San Diego have more than doubled since January of 2000. That's the second fastest increase in the country, only behind LA.
You have to see